I'm wondering how many Silent Hill videos I can make and then scrap at the last minute. At this rate, I'll get maybe one a year, and Rule of Rose and Haunting Grounds will be completely blood dry. For those of you who don't know, I am Adam the Horror Historian, and I recently replayed and streamed Silent Hill Homecoming. It says to turn on your flashlight. You don't have a fucking flashlight, by the way. No flashlight to turn on, but it's telling you to turn on a flashlight. It's not the high point in the Silent Hill series, but I also don't think it's the worst. I'm looking at you, The Room. And no, not that one.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
There's a lot that could be said about Silent Hill Homecoming, but I'm attempting to stay objective here. If you are interested in a more opinionated piece, make sure to check out my upcoming Worst of the Worst video on this game. But in this video, I'm going to delve into the history and relationship between Shepherd's Glen and its neighboring town of Silent Hill, the four families that founded the town, and its downfall, as well as the founding of the New Order. This isn't a comprehensive history of Silent Hill. That will have to be its own video because the town has just got the most wild past. After several attempts to settle the area, a penal colony was set up, and once the mining industry took off, Silent Hill was born. On land they never should have settled on, making a pact with a god they should have avoided at all costs. This, of course, was a horrible idea. Where we want to start is with the schism in the Order. The Order is a religious cult that popped up and is primarily source of issues when playing the games, with the notable exception of Silent Hill 2 and Downpour. If you didn't join the Order, you were basically forced into it through underhanded means like brainwashing and drug addiction to the PTV substance, which is shown in the first game. A lot of people gloss over the fact that there's a huge subplot involving drugs in the first game. Somehow we just all forgot. Anyways, after a while, some people had an issue with the Order. Isaac Shepard, Edith Holloway, Cornelius Fitch, and Mason Bartlett managed to found the town of Shepherd's Glen in 1853. I'm guessing there were issues prior to that, but I don't believe there are any definitive dates or incidents which caused them to leave in the first place. Be it resolved, by the will of the undersigned, a new day of our faith has risen, no longer content with the view of paradise held so dearly by those of our faith who came before us, nor those still in worship today. We leave our blessed community of Silent Hill and come to the land as pilgrims, sworn to begin our new faith anew. Therefore, with the power and blessing of our mighty God, for whom all life and prosperity wells, we do establish this land and consecrate it Shepherd's Glen. May our four families flourish and preserve, through all manner of hardships, with all sacrifice required, under God's consent and protection for all time. This is the most important aspect for Silent Hill Homecoming, the four families leaving. When they left, they ended up making a pact with the old god to spare their town from calamity. We already have past examples of the Silent Hill phenomenon working outside of the town in previous games, even those that were made by Team Silent. Each family was to sacrifice a child in a certain manner to keep this new pact. This takes place every 50 years, apparently in the fall around September, and involves the death of a child from one of the founding families. The types of sacrifices can be seen throughout the game, and there is a corresponding boss fight associated with each of them. Starting with the Bartletts. They are supposed to bury their sacrifices alive, and they were the executors of the law. In defense of the tenants, it is necessary that one person preside over the punishments of any member who have fallen from the path. These rulings must be based on complete understanding of the laws set forth and must be executed without prejudice. The executor of the law must not waive in the responsibility of enacting this power. He must declare his oath in public forum to uphold the ideals of the book. In God's name, so shall it be. This time around, Mayor Bartlett, yes, this monster is the leader of Shepherd's Glen, buried his son Joey alive. There are indications that this deeply affected Sam. We see him long before we even learn that he is the mayor. Our experiences see him randomly digging up graves in the cemetery. If you read Elle's diary, you learn that she even found him passed out drunk one day. To get context on key character elements, you need some external reading. I am not a fan of that. So today I got up really early and ran, and I saw the funniest thing. I saw the mayor, the actual mayor of Shepherd's Glen, passed out in front of his mansion. No one was around. I thought about taking a picture, but that would have been too mean, don't you think? I went up there to make sure he was okay. He was really out of it and smelled like a case of wine. I found a stick and poked him to make sure he was still alive. He was. I felt bad for the guy. I've never been that messed up. But seriously, no wonder everything has gone to hell around here. The freaking mayor is sleeping on his own front lawn like he's some high school freshman who didn't make it home from home party. How embarrassing. Anyways, apparently he put his son in a burlap bag and then buried him alive. And we end up with a corresponding boss fight. Personally, I think the mechanics of all the boss fights in this game are awful, but I really love the designs. I even posted this one on Twitter when I saw it again because I think it looks amazing. Sepulture, meaning tomb in Latin, is a weird combination of humanoid and tree that most likely represents Sam's guilt. I have a theory about this, and I will lay it out later, because wow.
Belongs to your son, doesn't it? Where is he?
Joey?
Yes, Joey. He and my brother were friends. I need to find him.
You shouldn't have come back, Alex. Times are bad. People don't trust me anymore. I can't protect them.
Protect them from what? What did you do?
Something has come. Taken everyone away. You can't stop them. They'll get you too.
Who's taking them? What are you talking about? Where's my brother? Bastard.
You can't, Sage.
What's happened? What did you do? What is all this?
The second family is the Fitch family, with the current patriarch Dr. Martin Fitch. Now this one is, to me, the most messed up one because we are supposed to sacrifice the child by dismemberment while they are still alive. And they are the performers of the rites. With the truth of the old believers fractured, it is essential that one person maintain and officiate the modern sectarian rites that we have toiled so faithfully to create and protect. After taking up the mantle of this post, the performer of the rites shall make a pilgrimage to the edge of the Forsaken region to purify himself from the sins of the past. There he will beseech the forefathers for forgiveness and understanding. In God's name, so shall it be. A little bit of interesting information about this section is that the children who were sacrificed in the family all have an association with the color red. Rose, Rusty, and Scarlet, who is the latest victim. And also the name of the boss for this section of the game. Martin, the dear, loving father, who had dismembered his daughter while she was still alive, was once a town hero. Believe it or not. The weird thing is that it involves Alex, and you would think there would be more references to it, but there just isn't. Just a newspaper clipping you can find in the game. What should have been a normal school run home turned into tragedy last week when a freak thunderstorm washed a school bus into the raging torrent of Toluca River. The normally placid river, swollen by nearly a week of record-breaking rainfall, was running almost 15 feet higher than normal. Dr. Martin Fitch, MD, had just finished a house call and was on his way back to the office, following directly behind the school bus when the road gave away. Managing to stop in time, Dr. Fitch got out of his car, braving the downpour, and ran alongside the river for a quarter of a mile where the bus finally became jammed under the bridge. Without a thought of his own personal safety, Dr. Fitch jumped into the river and swam towards the bus. After breaking the rear window, he climbed inside to assess the situation. Inside, he found a terrible scene. The driver, trapped by a safety belt, had been killed when the front of the bus flooded. All of the second and third grade students survived without major injury, but apparently severely frightened by the events. The children were evacuated to a nearby Alchemilla hospital in Silent Hill to recuperate after the ordeal. During the evacuation, the situation took another terrifying turn. His leg trapped by the partially crumpled front of the vehicle, brave 8-year-old Alex Shepard was unable to move. Dr. Fitch knew that if Alex didn't drown, the cold waters of Toluca River would put him into cold shock, as his core temperature plummeted as he succumbed to hypothermia. Time was critical. The doctor quickly stripped off his shirt, taking hold of the boy, and wrapped his arms as tightly as he could around him, and then waited for the rescue crews to reach him. The heat and warmth of the doctor's body may well have been the only thing that saved Alex's life that day. It took the fire crews nearly 4 hours to finally free Alex from the wreckage of the school bus. During the entire time he was trapped in the bus, Dr. Fitch never left his side. For his feat of bravery, the council gave the highest award to Dr. Fitch, along with the key to the city. Although tragedy struck for Martin Ward, potential loss of all the children were averted by the selfless act of one man, Dr. Martin Fitch, MD. Yet again, we find a grieving parent in shambles right before the boss fight, and instead of just digging graves and getting drunk, the doctor has been trying to atone for his sin by taking it out on himself in the form of cutting and bloodletting. He is covered in small cuts, and it's from the blood coming out of him that Scarlet is reborn. Now, Scarlet Fitch, the human, was just a little girl who had a love for dolls. When presented with her doll, Martin bleeds, creating a huge puddle, and well, you'll see.
Scarlet's doll. Where did...
Dr. Fitch, what's happening? What's going on? Oh,
As you can see, the boss is a distorted view of a doll, and like the previous one, most likely a manifestation of the guilt of the father for brutally murdering her. Frankly, I think he got exactly what he deserved on this one. Scarlet is a giant doll-like figure with a hard porcelain exterior that needs to be broken away in order to kill her. There really isn't much to say about this boss because there really isn't much here. She's a doll, with crazy joints, and sometimes kind of moves like a spider. Oh, the Holloway family. The only other family that we run into that seems to have more than one child. So I have no idea how the family lines were supposed to be passed down after this one, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
In the end, it doesn't even matter.
The first thing we see of Shepherd's Glen is actually Judge Margaret Holloway, and she's different.
Alex?
Judge Holloway. Hey,
I didn't know you were home. Does your mother know? She didn't say anything.
no, I haven't talked to her. Actually, I haven't really talked to anyone. I'm not planning on sticking around for long.
Oh. Well, I hope you get a chance to catch up with Elle. I'm sure she'd love to see you.
She's still here?
Of course. You know how it is. No one ever leaves this place.
Seemingly unfazed by the fog, the lack of other people, or any of the events going on, Judge Holloway is somehow both warm and off-putting from the first time we see her. This warm and fuzzy individual is the keeper of the lore. I feel like they've missed an opportunity here since she is a judge. To continue on the path we have laid before us, it is vital that the people remember the road traveled. We must continually provide, update, and nurture accurate records of the past that cannot be challenged by outsiders. Once the lore has been handed over, the keeper shall confine himself to an uncorrupted sanctuary. There he shall learn the history of the founders. In God's name, so shall it be. Boss associated with her is the first odd one. It doesn't kill the parent. It also bucks the trend of having a parent show guilt after killing their child. I'm not sure. Maybe she does. But how she's written, she seems to show signs of sociopathy and her inability to emotionally connect with other people, amongst other traits. By the way, the entrance for this boss is also just wild.
Nora. Hey, turn on the gas! Save Wheeler!
What are you doing? Get off me! Stop it! What is it?
Wheeler! Wheeler, where are you?
Get out of here!
Jesus Christ! Holy fuck!
Asphyxia is a representation of Nora Holloway, who was strangled by her mother. Her appearance is, well, the real version of the human centipede without the combined digestive tracts. There is only one pair of legs on this monster, but the rest of the limbs are arms. In my opinion, the coolest part of the design is the hands covering the mouth, similar to the way she would have died at the hands of her mother. Apparently, Nora was a big fan of the Alice in Wonderland books. I'm assuming the caterpillar is her favorite character just by the boss design. I think it's a given. Listen, I'm massively spoiling the end of the game, but if you didn't see this coming or have an issue with a game that came out in 2008, I have no idea what to tell you. The final boss is made from the fourth founding family, the Shepherds. In the pursuit of creating a more perfect way, rules must be followed and rules must be enforced. Any member who ignores this command shall be dealt with swiftly and in view of all. This shall ensure continued prosperity. It is therefore imperative that the effective Master of Arms not waive in the responsibility of enacting this power until his last day in this life. In God's name, so shall it be. Which is actually really ironic considering that it was the Shepherd's family that broke the law. Alright, so we don't get to see the guilt associated with Alex's father Adam because homie's dead.
Dad.
Alex? What are you doing here?
I'm here to save Joshua.
Joshua? You can't save him. You need to get out of here.
Stop giving me orders, Dad. You have no idea what I'm capable of.
You hate me. It's okay. I don't blame you.
I don't hate you. I forgot you. A long time ago.
I never meant to hurt you, son. I had to make a choice. And now I'm paying for it. We all are. After all I've done, you still wear my old dog tags. That must mean something.
What are you talking about? These are mine. I'm a soldier. Just like you wanted.
Alex, you've been in the hospital.
I know. I was wounded in battle.
No. A mental hospital. You've been there ever since the accident.
No. That's not true. I'm a soldier. I protect people.
We had to take you there. After that night. After I gave your brother this.
What is this thing? What did you do? Where's Joshua?
Alex, forgive me.
No! No!
Somehow this monster could be made of Alex's guilt or something to that effect, but I honestly don't understand this one as much as I do the others. Josh, the dead younger brother, is now a giant spider creature with boobs. Amnion is the name, and it could be derived from the sac that holds the fetus during pregnancy called the amniotic sac. When playing and reading about this boss, I kept seeing both he and she terms, so I got nothing, I'm not gonna lie. So what all of this have to do with the founding of the new Order of Silent Hill? Well, the Order never really died to begin with. Sure, they weren't as big of a deal anymore, and no major drug deals that we're aware of, but they're still in existence, and Holloway relied on that. When Adam Shepard was unable to fulfill his side of the pact, the God of Silent Hill had come to collect. And sadly, that basically meant the downfall of the entire town in a similar way Silent Hill was. This left little choice for the people of the area, and Judge Holloway definitely took advantage of this and set herself up as the new leader of the Order. This may sound like a stretch. She certainly is not on the same level as Dahlia, Claudia, or even Leonard Wolf. But after the events of Silent Hill 3, it seems like the Order didn't have a whole lot for it. Fresh blood from the neighboring town, having Curtis as a right hand, must have made it easy for Holloway to set things up. Once she had power, she would kidnap people from Shepherd's Glen and brainwash them into joining, or they would be tortured to death. This makes Ellie's attempt at hanging up missing posters kind of ironic, since it was her own mother who had arranged for all the kidnapping. I do feel like this is like the end of the Silent Hill Order. Silent Hill Homecoming is the last real mention of them and the effect they had on the world. And it definitely ended with a whimper, not a bang. I did tease at the beginning a theory about guilt and the creation of the boss characters. Since all of them could be attributed to their parents either having guilt or should have been judged or punished, the existence of the boogeyman is justified, and the endings where Alex becomes one of them fits the theme better than content creators want to admit. Okay, bye now.
Just